Hello there everyone and welcome back to Let's Make a Game MZ. In the last episode we set up some of our database. I have since gone through, updated everything, like now got a ton of weapons, sorted, ton of armor. Just so we have some basic items for the games. Not done any enemies or I guess troops either. States I have kind of sorted, so there's negative at the top, then more support ones, and then as we'll go down we'll be adding more. I'm going to be adding passive states. In skills we've still got nothing. I'm going to do those on screen, and I've moved enemy skills, so we've got plenty of space for enemy skills, and we've got the old skills just down at the bottom, and these will probably disappear in time. I'll probably move these ones back up to the enemy skill section. So yeah, so what I'm going to be doing in this episode is creating our first town, and I've not come up with any name for it, so let's go with Alfina. I think that's fine. Use outside. Town 2, no, town 1 I believe is the one we want. Not going to be any battles there because they're out. Also, I didn't set the size. Let's set this to, let's say, about 37 by 41. I think that should work nicely. Yeah, that seems like it work. I'm just going to go to layer 1. I'm just going to fill this whole area with the grass. Also, for some reason, there we go. Then on layer 3, I'm going to just go around the border with the trees, and I'm just going to create a general shape for the village. Actually just extend it like that, bring that down. I need fill, it needs to be there we go. Just going to go round and just clear out some of the trees where the tiles will cause issues. One there, one there, one there. Fine. There. There. We'll also cut out a path. So I will also take out those. We'll have a 2 wide path. No, let's do 3 wide path. Need to take that out. What do we need to do here? Do that. Take out that one. Okay, there we go. And then on layer, let's stay on layer 3. I'm just going to go around, add the bottom of the trees. To each of the areas that need it. Did miss a spot there. Also got down here. There's one there. Think that's all the spots. This side. Now we've got the other one. Just go round. Place in the bottom of the trees. There we go. Then on layer 4, I'm just going to place the top of the trees. Like so. And then we'll have our border for the town done. Need one there. One there, one there, one there. Okay, now let's go to the other side. like so. Top there, top there, top there. Is that all of it? Yep, that's all of it. Okay. So let's go back over to layer 1 and let's put in our dirt path. Like I said, it's going to be 3 wide. So we have this entrance. Then I'm going to move it out this way, so we'll have a house somewhere around here. I try and not have it be symmetrical. I kind of try and have it sort of being offshore as you go up, and we'll work our way upwards. So let's put our first house in. Now in MZ I do houses a lot different than I did in MV. So because of the layer system, it's a lot better from making houses and different shapes. Like before, you'd have to like create some sort of shapes and having to click it into position. But now with multiple layers, it's easier to create the shapes. So I will show you. Let's use this one, the front. We're going to do 5, 7 wide. Then on layer 2, I'm going to put in it's like so. Above it, I'm going to put this roof. So it's got a kind of canopy above. While we're on layer 2, I'm going to put in the door frame. I'm also just going to draw in the shadows. Like so. Then on layer 4, I place down the roof. I like to use these tiles. It works better. And we've got this simple house. We go to layer 2. I'm going to put in the windows. We're going to use these basic windows. Going to have them here. And we'll use the grass edge. What I don't like right now is these ends here. And I'm also not a big fan of the log look. Oops, dragging the window by accident. Let's go over to layer 2 and I'm gonna just do these ones instead. I'm gonna put those there as well. Let's do that. And I much prefer that already, yes. So I like to use 2 different wall tiles for the shape. In the case of this town, it's wood. I could do something like let's do it like this. We'll use the same house shape. Let's go back over to layer 2. I'm going to use the red roof. Put in the door. Bit of shadow. And then we'll put the roof in. Let's do green. Get rid of that. And as you can see, we've got this nice looking mix of buildings. So I'm just going to switch over to automatic so we can get rid of all that. So now we have this. Let's add a bit of decoration. The downside is the chimneys aren't exactly great in this. We could have it like this where it comes out the side, but I'm not a big fan of that. Or you could have this massive thing coming out of the top, which is also horrible. So you need to try and figure out a way that you're going to show chimneys, but sometimes it's better just leave it, just pretend there's a chimney even though there isn't. Okay, so now we've got one house. This is just going to be a standard house. Let's go to this side and let's build a shop. So we're going to use the same premise. This time it's going to be slightly smaller. Fit a shop, so let's do layer 2. Bring that in like so. And again, we're going to use the same door throughout. It's going to be this square one. And for the roof, I'm going to switch over to layer 4. Drag that down. Back over to layer 2. Place them on the corners. So you can see that small houses also work quite well. Sometimes putting the sign on top works. Putting the sign on the side also works. But for this, I'm thinking we'll just keep it to the top. As you can see, there's our little shop. Now let's create another path just going off this way. Have it go off. It's going to be quite a bigger area. And what we can do is create an inn. So with inns, I like to sort of differentiate them from the other buildings. So for the entrance, I'll start with the entrance. I tend to keep it the same. Yep, I'll have it be one away. Let's do this. Do that. There we go. Then on layer 1, instead of using this, we're going to use the faster one. So let's do this. As you can see, we've got the wood and the plaster there. What I will do, I'm going to... How does that look? That's not too bad if we add these kind of pillars in it. Looks kind of nice. Let's put the sign on. Let's put it on top. And then I need to do the roof. So for this one, I'm going to actually use a different roof. I'm going to use this green one. I'm going to keep with the same sort of size. With it being 3 tall. And what we'll do is also add some windows. We'll just add the one window there above the pillar. Let's go to layer 2. So add in the door frame. Add in the shadows. Add in the windows. I'm actually going to switch over to layer 3 for this because we're going to put a window. Put one. Hang on. Put one window there, there, and there. And let's use the different flowers for this one. So there's our inn. As you can see, it's a bit bigger. You can also notice that there's some issues with the shadows, which we're going to fix now. Let's see. Just draw the shadows going in. I already did that one apparently. It doesn't really matter for the door frames. It's usually the more circular ones where it looks better with shadows because it shows the darkening of the wall. There's our inn. So we've got a residential house, our shop, an inn. Let's create another small house. How big's this area? 6. That's fine. So I'm going to create a path. Slightly offset from there. And on layer 2, we're going to do it much like this. So there, and there. Let's get rid of this tree here. We'll keep the one behind it as it still works in terms of the shape. So we need to get that other tile. Go back over to layer 2. Put in the door frame. Add in the windows while we're at it. We need the roof or the canopy. And we were using this one, weren't we? Yep. And then what I'll do, just copy this roof over. Now if I draw it, you can see we have this tree behind the roof. Then you got this tree that looks like it's been cut off, but in reality you'd see the top of the tree would be here. And I'd say the building's probably small enough that the tree would still grow. Again, let's fix some shadows. There we go. So finally, there's one house that's going to be going here, which would be the elder's house, or the whoever is in charge. We do have a small issue in that because we've drawn the shadows and we're using auto tile, or any tile for that matter, it's going to erase the shadow, so I'll just redraw them after. But what I might do is after the entrance, if we switch it to a 2 wide. No, we'll keep it 3 wide. And then the elder's house would be like here somewhere. Or we might just keep it central to here. So for the elder's house, we're going to have it bigger than the inn, done in a similar-ish style. So what I'm going to do is just draw the entrance again. But this time, instead of having it moved back one, we're going to have, we'll use the plaster again, we're going to have this like that. Then on layer 2, we're going to bring this out like so. And have that like that. Then on layer 4, we have the roof come out a bit more than normal. Let's sort out the shadows here, get rid of that one, add it there. Layer 2, we need to add in the door frame. We want that one. And let's add in the windows on layer 3. We're going to have the windows centralized to here. What does look a bit weird is this bit. So what I'm going to do is switch over to layer 3. We're going to just draw in the walls like this. So I've got this entrance area which matches up with the rest. So the walls come outwards. And I like that design. So let's add in the shadows over here. Okay. So we have our basic town, but the map looks very, very bland right now. So let's modify it, shall we? So let's start at the bottom here. What I like to do is on layer 2, and this is why we have the trees on layer 3 and 4, is I like to grab some of these, usually the moss and the soil, and I just like to create blobs just going underneath the trees and whatnot. Just gives it a bit of definition. Also put some under the buildings. You can have it go on the path as well if you want. I find that not going too mad but not making it look simple, usually a good way to go. And because in game it will look like this, you don't have to worry about it being really square behind the trees. So let's just draw some shapes. I'm gonna do it like that. Bring it out underneath the building. Let's have it do that. I like to do this around the edge of the map. Makes it look like this place has some general life in it. Do that. Finally, let's create a large patch here. So already, just from that, you can see there's some nice additions added to it. But we don't just want it around the edge, we're also going to add it dotted around the map. We won't do it there, but we will have it come out like that. Let's actually sort of extend that. So let's do that. And do a bit here. You can also have some of the tall grass if you want, but I usually leave that for sort of decoration, like the inn, like so. Actually, we're going to create sort of planters for it by using the road edging on layer 2, and then on layer 3 we just draw in the bushes, so it kind of looks like planters of some kind. Then on layer 2 and 3 I like to place the kind of rough grass patches randomly, but in a way that it doesn't feel too cluttered. Like the general rule of thumb I have is don't have stuff directly next to each other. Instead, try and leave a gap of a minimum of 1 tile and 1 diagonal if you can. So currently this would look weird. This already looks weird, but if I move that over to there, already looks a bit better. You can also have it coming out certain places. Do it there and there. Then finally let's get this one. There. There. Do there. Then on layer 3, what we can do is we can also place it where we have the moss down. That adds more detail to the map. But you need to still sort of obey the rule, because if I add this too close to this, it'll look weird. In fact, it still looks a bit weird, so I'm going to switch it to this one. I think that's fine. Do that. Bring that one to there. That to there. Let's use big one there. General moss like this. Have it there. Put in a few flowers. Let's go back to layer 2. I tend to use 2 of the flowers, don't use all 4. And I just put them in certain places. Let's use the purple ones as well. Like so. What I can also do on layer 3 is using the moss. We can create overlapping moss and it creates this sort of nice texture. I don't do it as much as I do the layer 2 stuff. Very sporadic. There we go. Let's zoom out now. As you can see, the map is looking a lot nicer, but there's still some blank areas that need to be fixed. So let's add in a few of the trees. So we're going to go to layer 3 and we're going to put in a few of these trees, put some of the bases here. Do one there. And we'll also do some of these trees as well, the narrow trees. Sometimes it's really nice to have them around the edge as well, behind some of the treetops. And then on layer 4 we want to just put in the tops of the trees. So there was one there and one there, I believe. Yep. And there, is that the last one? I believe so. Then we've got the tops of these trees. One there, one there, one there, one there. 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 There, there. Difficult to remember where some stuff is. I think that's all of them. But what I'm going to do is, currently we can walk behind here. I'm going to actually add in a tree here. I'm just going to do it like so. There we go. Now we've got a small barrier there. It's been blocked. So let's add in the shadow that we erased here. And we can also add in, I was going to say we could add in some like farming area, but at the same time it doesn't work. Also, I've missed a tree here. This area still seems a bit too empty. Let's add in a rock or two. Just in certain areas, not as much. This isn't a rocky area. It's just having 1 or 2 boulders works quite nicely. Now outside the shop, I like to sort of have, outside the shop and in actually, I like to have like the barrels and pots, just sort of like it's been used for storage outside. Barrels. I'm not going to use any of the crates. We'll add a pot there, and I think that works quite well. Now the final thing I want to add is the stepping stones in front of the doors, and I'm going to do those on layer 2 so they get affected by the shadow. So because the inn is 1 tile back from road, I'd like to put into stepping stones. As you can see, here's our map, and what I'm going to actually do is just make it slightly thinner, just so it's not completely overshadowed. So what we can also do is just shift the map up by using Control T. I'm going to shift it up by -3. Then we're going to get rid of the bottom 3. So there we go. There's our little town. This is going to be our starting town for the game, which I don't believe I think I erased the bit we had, yeah. Which will go somewhere on this world map. So in the next episode I'll do some of the interiors, and then we'll start the world map stuff and start building up enemies and whatnot. Until then, thank you everyone for watching. Hopefully you are enjoying this series. If you are, be sure to leave a like. If you're not subscribed already, be sure to subscribe to the channel. Until the next episode, thank you for watching and goodbye.